It's been a while since I put up a video, but life is busy. I am continuing to work on Jenny's cosplay costume. She's going to be Enya Dream Barbecue, and I made the suspenders for her because I will put up a picture of the character. And the character has a pink shirt, and then she has these suspenders that are red and pink. So we went to the Dollar Tree and actually got the fabric for these from the Dollar Tree, and I made a long tube, ironed it down, and then made bias tape basically out of the pink. They're not perfect, but I picked the two sides that look pretty even. The backs are a little bit wonky, and up here it's not perfectly lined up, but it's done. We need to get this done because when we come back from our trip, we have one day and then we leave for Comic-Con. So the costume has to be about 95% done. Let me show you progress on the hat. The hat is almost done. I finished sewing the seam all the way around there, so that the back of the hat is done. We did find some, where did we find, oh, we got this at Hobby Lobby. It was just a ribbon, and it's super narrow, and there's not enough room for me to sew, so I'm actually using glue. And I had some glue on hand, and I glued this bottom to see how it would work, and it is working. But I think I'm going to go out today and get some fabric glue instead of using the glue. The glue I'm using is to repair like broken objects. It is kind of hard on my hands, so I think we'll get some fabric glue, and then we'll continue gluing this around the band. And so that should be finished for today. The suspenders are done. Her best friend came up with the idea for the legs. She has to have one white leg, one red leg, and so her best friend said, oh, you should get leggings and then just cut one legging off. And so those came in the mail. The red leggings should be coming in the mail. And then we have a really cool idea for her hands that I'll show you later in the video. The humming you hear in the background is the window air conditioner. It's too hot to film without any air on, so I came back on to show you. I forgot that I got these. This is, it's peel and stick pieces of felt because the character has kind of cartoon hair, black hair, and Jenny has long brown hair. So we are going to also add this, cut this out, and add this to the bottom of the hat so it looks like she has the cartoon hair as well. Well, it's many, many days since I made that video. We've been to Arizona, we've been to Comic-Con, and now we are finally back home. And we didn't do a lot of filming at Comic-Con, but I did take a picture of Jenny in her finished outfit, and I thought I would just still go over it with you, even though we didn't film at Comic-Con. This is a really good picture of her in the complete outfit. The only thing that's missing is her fingers, which is in this picture here. I did her makeup. So the Ina, I said Enya earlier, it's Ina Dream Barbecue, has kind of a robot side and a human side. I'm still not quite sure, but all I know is Jenny wanted to be her, and quite a few people, hello everybody, you can see me in there, quite a few people recognized her even when she had the hat off and the arms off. And then eventually the suspenders popped out. But what happened is I had her, let's see, I had her wear these pants, or well, they were pants. I made them into shorts. I had her wear those, excuse me, to the party in Arizona because they're nice dress pants. So that is why I did not sew the suspenders to the shorts. So I hand stitched them the day of the Comic-Con. So they kind of popped out. So looking back, should have sewn them in, but it was okay. Her best friend had come up with the idea of her getting two different leggings, and that's what we did with her legs. Instead of wearing makeup, I cut one leg and then the opposite leg, so the poor dear is wearing two pairs of leggings and shorts and socks and these felt covered sneakers. So she was hot, plus she had her arms covered. She did last a while, but she tapped out. We were going to go have her enter the costume contest, but she was like, no, I'm done, and I don't blame her. So let's start from the very bottom. So what we did is I had she has regular sneakers, kind of her old sneakers that would go for walks with dogs and stuff. So it's felt on one side and sticky on the other because we couldn't find any black shoes that would fit her. So and I didn't want to buy just black shoes for one day, so these were kind of old shoes. So and I will try to take off the stickiness as much as possible. So those are covered with black felt that we got at Hobby Lobby. Then the socks, these are men's socks that I got from the Dollar Tree. One is supposed to be shorter than the other, and then in the character, she has one kind of knee high. So I cut the foot off of another pair. These come in pairs of 2, I think. And so this is the extra sock on top to make it look like it is longer. This is a plush that she has. This was our inspiration for this costume. I've already talked about the suspenders. We got the fabric from Dollar Tree, and I made those, and it looks exactly the same on the other side. She is wearing a little brooch, a little pin of Ina on her collar. And then we got some poster board from Dollar Tree. We made that into a megaphone because she uses a megaphone. The character normally doesn't have a handle, but we had a handle so she could hold it around her wrist as we walked around. In this photo, you don't see her fingers. I'll show that in another one because that was kind of a last minute addition because they were made out of paper. My aunt in Arizona helped us come up with how we could make those. And so that was very nice. We even labeled them and everything. So it's put tape on this joint here. She's wearing a glove that I got from Amazon. They're gloves that you put lotion on your hands and you wear your cotton gloves overnight. So they were very thin. This white here and the red from here are the legs that I cut off. And I sewed them up. So these are actually kind of like long gloves, quote unquote. So she has a white glove here. The leg is here. And then this is the other leg, and you can kind of see it here. This side is a mitten, and so I sewed it to look like a mitten. And here is the hat. This is what I started with, and I also have the hat here. We can go over that some more in detail. So that is her complete outfit. I think she turned out really, really good. Here she is posing at the campground. Here are her hands. We got the idea from, we put in Ina Dream BBQ cosplay, and somebody had hands that look like this. And so my aunt made what she called Pinocchio hats. And then we did a sample, and then we made them fresh when we got home. And so they're just little cones that we taped on her hand. And she was able to use those for a while. She took the red arm off first, and then we slowly took the white hand off second. And then the hat went. And then I wish they had Comic-Con in the fall. If it was in the fall, it would have been cooler because you are kind of walking around town and it is pretty warm. But like I said, she was a trooper. And her best friend was wearing a wig and long pants. And a lot of people were wearing lots of heavy costumes. And you can see her makeup. She has a little triangle under this eye, and then painted that side red, this side white, and then the outline goes around her nose and kind of at an angle. And here's another picture. You can kind of see her. And we had her hair up in a braid, and it was tucked up under the hat. So let's look at this hat here. I'm pretty proud of this hat. This was an original hat, was regular plaid. I might take this off today. I think Jenny did like the hat. The only thing that's permanently glued on here is this band, but I don't think she'll mind that. So I sewed, this is from the pants, from the shorts. And then here is some more of that felt. She wanted it up off of her neck, so we kind of arched it here. And because her hair is so long, we had it tucked up under the hat in a braid. There is a triangle cut out here. So this kind of is supposed to stick out, and this curves in. And so that is how the hat turned out. So that is Jenny's. I know it's not knitting or crochet, but that is the latest sewing project that I was working on, and I really think it turned out terrific. She and her best friend had a great time. We will definitely be back again next year. It's always in August. It would be nice, like I said, if it was in October, because then it would be a little bit cooler, but still you can see beautiful day. And fun was had by all. I apologize for being kind of missing in action on this channel. I have a regular full-time channel called Flying Pig Thrifts, but this Flying Pig Knits is kind of for my knitting and crochet and yarny goodness, and also Comic-Con sewing projects. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye!